Hello, it's so good to see you again for another story. Now, this time we're going out on another sea adventure, and I've got my friend with me. This is Alfonso the cat, who's the hero of our story, or is he? You decide. The story I'm going to read to you is called Cats Ahoy, and it's written by Peter Bentley, and the illustrator is Jim Field. I hope you enjoy it with me. I will just pop a little biscuit in here for later, and maybe this big pussycat and Bertie can make friends. Let's begin. One night by the harbour, the church bell struck 10, when Alfonso the cat overheard two old men. "Did you hear?" said the first. "There's a boat on the way, which will be in the harbour at the first light of day. It's laden with haddock from rudder to bow. It's the biggest catch ever." Alfonso thought, "Wow." Off shot Alfonso as swift as an arrow through alleys and gardens and streets dark and narrow. He told every cat to prepare for a treat. "Follow me and you'll get all the fish you can eat. There's a ship standing empty, a 3-masted clipper. Meet there at midnight. Her name is the Kipper." A little while later, 2 terrified dogs turned tail at the sight of a great gang of mogs. I think they would scare Bertie altogether at once. Boarding the Kipper on soft, silent paws, with pistols and cutlasses clamped in their jaws. And then, while the townsfolk were tucked up and snoring, the Kipper weighed anchor and slipped from its mooring and steered a straight course for the deep ocean blue with Captain Alfonso and all of his crew. The trawler boat's skipper, Trelawney P. Craddock, looked down with delight on his huge haul of haddock. "The biggest catch ever," he thought with a smirk. "I'll be famous and wealthy and I won't need to work." But then, what was that? Craddock peered through the mist. There was something close by, and that something just hissed. He listened again, and there came a strange howling, a grim, ghoulish groaning, a terrible yowling. "What's up?" gasped the mate. "No idea," yelled the skipper. Then, "Ship ahoy!" From the mist sailed the Kipper. And as she came close in the moon's eerie light, the fishermen shivered and trembled in fright, for as hard as they stared, not a soul could they see. That blood-curdling din, what on earth could it be? "Great codfish!" yelled Craddock with quivering lip. "We're being attacked by a ghost pirate ship!" That does look like a very scary ship. But if you look closely, can you see that little pair of eyes peeping out from the ship? Was that you? In a panic, the fishermen fled up the deck, leapt into the lifeboat and paddled like heck. The cook, who had sneaked down below for a snooze, was forced to abandon his trousers and shoes. And once Craddock's crew had rowed too far to hear, the voice of Alfonso cried, "Okay, all clear." One by one, furry faces popped up with great glee. "Hey, check out that haddock! Fish-tastic! Yowee!" "And now," said Alfonso, "to Smuggler's Bay for a great fishy feast." And the cats cried, "Hooray!" In a small sheltered cove, out of sight of the land, the sea mog scoffed haddock and danced on the sand. As the bright rays of dawn were beginning to gleam, they sang "Yo-ho-ho" and a carton of cream. A day or two later, Trelawney P. Craddock was telling of phantoms who'd stolen his haddock. "Their flag was 2 fish bones, I'm quite sure of that, with something that looked like the skull of a cat." "A cat," said the townsfolk. "A cat? Don't be daft. Who's heard of cat pirates?" And everyone laughed. Yet something had happened that was rather weird. Where were the cats? They had all disappeared. They were gone for a week, a whole week without dinner. But when they came back, they were fatter, not thinner. Some townsfolk began to add up 2 and 2 and questioned their cats. "Were you there? Was it you?" But the cats had all taken a most solemn vow, just to look up all sweetly and answer, "Meow." And whatever their crimes, the folk find to this day, when they question their moggies, that's all they will say. That's what cats do say, isn't it? Meow. I hope you enjoyed our story. Now, you may have noticed Alfonso's biscuit has stayed there throughout the story, but it's probably time to hand over the bounty to Bertie. Let's see. Bertie, here. Alfonso's got a little treat for you. Yeah, lucky boy. Thank you, Alfonso. Good boy. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Bye-bye.